mentioned earlier about you being there for the shot. Take me to that moment. Take me to the crowd, to how you felt at that moment. What did you think Mike was gonna do? How break down that whole.
Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
You really never know, but I love actually. I love Utah, and I love the Jazz, and I love the team, and love the people there. Actually, it's a great city to be in, but at the time they were nasty. They were nasty. They were really bad. Indiana, and I love also Indiana, that being Indiana the game, but the fans were nasty. They treated you like shit when you went and you were in the opposing team. So it was like I kind of like, you know, when people were, they would see Michael. As soon as Michael would get the ball, they would say, "Michael, you suck." I mean, I get it. You're not a fan, and you want your team to win.
Let's be realistic.
Let's be realistic. Like, just get a reality check. You don't suck. Michael doesn't suck. I mean, I don't care whatever you say. I don't care whether you like it, whether it's not your team, but it's Michael doesn't suck. When he comes into Madison Square Garden and burns the whole team, or he came to the Lakers and burned the whole team, respect has to be given to the greatest of all time. Mm-hmm. So here's the game, and you're watching the game, and of course he made that shot, and I'm the only one with my arms up in the air, and everybody's like, every time I was with my wife at the game, and people pushing us and being rough to us, you know, and I could really clearly remember, and the bodyguard of, and then Michael always had didn't have young, buff, tall, big bodyguard. He had all older guys with him, like former cops or friend of his. Like older guys that were with him, that took care of him. And I have one of those old guys, you know, and unfortunately I don't remember his name, comes and gets me because he knew that I had the jacket. So comes in and takes me all the way to the locker room. And as soon as I walk in the locker room, he's obviously already drinking the champagne and stuff before getting into the locker room. And he's the only one who calls me Jeffrey. Jeffrey, where's my coat? So I give him the jacket, and obviously, you know, I'm talking to him, and I'm excited, and I'm like, you know, again, that 2-year-old kid. And here comes Stuart Scott. You know, remember Stuart Scott from the greatest of all time as well. Comes to me, says, "Jeff, come over, we're doing an interview." I say, "I'm speaking to Michael." I say, "Well, either you can speak to Michael, either you can tell me about your jacket in front of 60 million people." I say, "Okay." Wow. So right after the game, wow. I'm talking to Stuart Scott, and we talk about the whole thing, and then I went back in the locker room and talking to Scotty and Horace Grant at the time, and all those guys. And no, it was Dennis Rodman was there at that. That was in '98. Yeah, no, Horace. I don't know if Horace Grant was there with.
Nah, he was with Orlando.
It was Orlando at the time. Yeah. There was Steve Kerr and and Bill Cartwright and you know, all those guys, you know. So it was a lot of fun, you know.
So you've been to a lot of epic games and boxing matches and just everything dealing with sports. I need you to do me a favor right now.
And concerts.
Oh, forgive me. Give me your top 5 iconic moments in your life dealing with whatever.
It's going to be tough, you know. It's just you know, you cannot. Dream Team, Michael's first championship, last championship, Mike Tyson. You know,
what's that? 1 and 2 and 3.
With who?
Nah, like I'm saying, you just said Dream Team. You said
not
the
in
first
order.
championship
in
Tyson.
Yeah, just being with Tyson and.
Give me a Tyson story. What's Mike like?
He's the greatest of all time. For me, I'm not greatest of all time in boxing. He's my greatest all celebrity of all time.
Can I ask you a question quick? I don't mean to cut you off. Have you ever seen somebody just do a whole 360 the way Mike has? Mike right now is on a level where, you know, before people didn't like him in the 80s and 90s when he lost the Buster, everybody was happy and things. When he was going through his trials and tribulations, people was laughing at him and things. But the way Mike is right now, his evolution, even though I mean, listen, you know him personally. I'm just saying from the outside looking in, and I'm a Mike fan.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying I love the fact that he's able to get his roses right now, and he's able to maneuver in this world where people actually say, "Yo, you know what? Mike is smart." Because remember, people used to say Mike was dumb.
Yeah, no, but that's a misconception about Mike. Mike always been a very smart. Even though he didn't have the formal education, but he was very well educated. I mean, educated in a different way that maybe you and I are. He watched TV, but you can ask him any event about boxing. For 100 years, he will tell you everything.
Yeah, he's
you
a
can talk to
historian.
him about geography or history, every single war. You can talk to him about animals. He studied tigers. He studied everything. Like, it's not a joke when you see him with the tigers and
Birds.
and the movies and stuff like that. He studied the movement. You saw him the way he got into the ring. He emulated that feeling of fear that he created by the way he carried himself. But he's the greatest of all time, because you know why? Because it's a good heart. He's honest. He's very loyal to his people. People screwed him left and right.
Absolutely.
And he's just a good-hearted person, and really wants the best for all the other people. And he's just, for me, that's really when I put him on top of anybody else, on top of Muhammad. And I love Muhammad Ali. I was very close with him. And of course, I love Muhammad Ali. How can you not? The icons of icons. Or Michael Jordan, or Kobe, or LeBron, or even one of the greatest person in my life was President Bill Clinton. I met him. It was like I was shaking when I met him, because he was just so charismatic. There is just something when you meet some of those people that they are really blessed by God, because their aura is so powerful that you're around them, you feel like you get into that circle of aura, you feel like you're elevated in a certain way. And people don't realize that celebrity is not how much money you made and how cool you are. It's a blessing of God, the universe gave you, that makes you that special being that you're able to carry yourself. But still to this day, when I'm around Mike, my heart beats 1,000,000 miles an hour, because I feel like I'm surrounded with greatness. And I love the guy. I have no fear telling him I love you every time I see him, because it is real, and I feel like it's like his family to me. I love him in every single way I can. When he was away, I used to write him a letter every week, and I don't think he ever forgot that. And I really have a very strong bond with him. And every opportunity to get to see him, I never miss it.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet him. I know that's gonna happen. But I want to talk about Kobe in that iconic picture. So I don't know if you watch Verzuz, because you be all over the place and stuff like that. But a couple years ago, Dipset and D Block.
He was on the stage. He was on the stage.
I kind of watch, and I can tell the stories about that one.
He was on that stage.
I didn't even know that.
Yes.
No,
Let's
Let
talk
him know,
about
Jeff.
it.
You was on that
to
stage,
me.
baby.
Talk to me. Listen, hold on. Before you go any further, Jeff, and I don't want to stop what you about to say. I was however many feet an airplane is. Yeah, let me get some of that too. Listen, I was watching that on an airplane from DR coming to New York, and I was so upset that I didn't even make that.
Yeah, I was ringside. I had
You
front
hear me?
row. You know what I'm saying?
So
But he
now
was
that
on the
you about
stage.
to say that, I got
So
to hit
you need to watch it again.
Hold on.
So I'm going to tell you.
let me watch it again and get this bottle, because I can't. Oh my God.
So
Talk about it, Jeff.
Jim Jones calls me 2-3 months before that, say, we really want you to come to the Verzuz, because we're doing locks, and obviously I'm friendly with the Kiss and the crew, and obviously Cameron has always been the first one who wrote songs about me and stuff. And so we want you, and we want you to be with us on stage. I said, yeah, I'm down. I'm coming. So I go in, and it's it's a madhouse.
It's a zoo.
It's a madhouse. It's a zoo, right? Everybody's on stage. Everybody's. I go in, and as I go in, from the left of the set, I start moving a little bit on the lock side, because I'm here with. And the truth is, I did a lot of stuff with Rough Riders and X and Swiss Beat, So obviously, I have a strong allegiance to Rough Riders, And I did all the stuff, especially with DMX and stuff like that. So Wadeen is my brother, so I'm with him. So I'm standing with him. Say, you come and stay with me. So now suddenly they make an announcement. Everybody gets the fuck out of the stage. We get out, and I say, you're not going anywhere. So I'm the only one guy there I'm wearing coincidentally I'm wearing a white leather jacket, python with a bunch of dragons, and everybody say, who the fuck is this guy? Either he's the owner of, I look like I'm expensive. Either he's the owner of the Madison Square Garden, either he's like a music executive, either he's a weed plug, but he's somebody. So people say, no, it's Jeff Hamilton. He's the one who makes the jackets.
He's the plug.
That's a true story, because everybody was like, yo, who is the white guy? Like,
and I'm the only white guy.
I was there. He's on the stage. I was there, but it's like, that show, they stopped for like 20 minutes because no one would get off the stage.
Yeah.
So when they finally cleared the stage, he was still on it. You know what I'm saying? They're like, that's when they was like, all right, he's somebody. You know what I'm saying?
So that was a lot of fun. Obviously, I was originally rooting for Dipset, but I think they got, they got hurt that night, and they were not on as good as they deserved to be. I think they're much better than that, and. But it was cool because, at that time, Jadakiss wore my X jacket after the kind of won. No question. And he did the Kobe pose.
Get that mamba, nigga. Get that mamba. Get that mamba. Where my phone at? Yo, that's some Jordan thing. Get that mamba, nigga. Let's go, kids. Get that mamba, nigga.
And that Kobe pose became kind of like iconic in a way that. Anytime somebody does something big and make an achievement, they want to do that. Even LeBron told me when he won the 2020 championship, which I'm still waiting for that picture, by the way. He said he took the picture in his wine cellar of him holding a bottle of wine with a trophy. And obviously, I don't know if you guys know. Of course you know, but Anuel and all the. I do a lot of work with reggaeton, and Anuel on the cover is. The album Leyenda, he just he does that same pose, and a bunch of people are doing that, so it's kind of like it became iconic. And to close it, let me tell you like a story of that night, because obviously that's the most iconic moment in NBA history as far as image. So 2001. We're in Philly. Lakers win the championship. Philly won the first game in LA. Then they closed it like 4 in a row. So we're in the locker room. I go in the locker room. First thing, Kobe kind of wants so much to be emulating Jordan, catching us. So he realized that the jacket was the thing to have, because one of the things I found out that when you win a championship. What's the biggest prize? The ring, right? But the ring, you don't get it till 3-4 months till the next season starts. The jacket is immediate gratification. Right away you get it. And right away you can show that you're the champion. So Kobe had the jacket on. And at the time I was not making for the whole team. I was making only for him, Shaq, and myself. So Kobe gets his jacket. I did it in 2000 as well when he won again Indiana, and here I am, and I'm a really good friend with the Hall of Famer photographer Andy Bernstein. He's the one who took all those iconic pictures of Magic and Kobe and Michael Jordan and LeBron. Guys, he's in the Hall of Fame. So I knew where to be. I knew to be right next to him because I knew all the good pictures were going to be taken by him. So I follow him. And then here we are. We cannot find Kobe. Kobe has a trophy, and we don't know where he's at. And I follow him, and we're like 3 people. We follow him in the shower, and then he's right there sitting in a corner and having a moment. And Kobe was very depressed at night because I think it's something personal. I mean, first of all, playing in Philly,
His hometown.
is where he grew up. He was being booed the whole time, where he loved Philly. He grew up as a Sixers fan. His dad, Jelly Bean, was a Sixer player, you know. His parents was not there. He just had a falling out with his parents at the time. You know, you can look on the internet why he was having the fight, but I'm not going to talk about it out of respect to his wife and his family, which I'm friends with both sides. And he was having a moment, holding a trophy, and we were there. He was snapping the pictures. Andy Bernstein and Nathaniel were taking the pictures, and if you really look close at those pictures, and you look at that trophy, and you look at the reflection, you cannot see me clear like this. You can see somebody wearing a purple jacket behind it. That was me. And that bottle that was on the floor, I still have that bottle of champagne that's sitting on the court. So obviously, this is a kind of moment where I don't have the footage. I don't have it. I mean, I have a picture of him coming out of the locker room with him and he's still sad. But those are the moments that are like frozen in time in my brain, and I will never forget. And that's probably, if you have to put out of all the most iconic moments that I lived through, that's probably one of them. Because obviously the tragic passing of him, and he was such a great guy and such a heart of gold as far as basketball was concerned. He just cared about winning, and he had such a motivation. And even though he emulated so much Jordan, and for me, like, the biggest surprise of his death is knowing how close he was with Michael, and how much he worshipped Michael and watched so much of Michael. When you look at sometime on social media, you see some of the moves that he has, and you see Michael move, and you see the move. They were like identical, and it's just it's so beautiful to see what he has, and I think his legacy is going to be there forever because he inspires so many of that generation, especially your generation. That and that it was amazing. I mean, he inspired like all the, and for me it was like, Virgil was in the 90s, and it's kind of Virgil and Don C where they were inspired by me because I was in the 90s by them, and they looked at me up to that. But then in the 2000, and for me to know that kids in the street, they didn't know about the Jeff Hamilton, but they knew about the jacket. So when I came back out of retirement, like in 2019, 2020, right before COVID, people, they didn't know Jeff Hamilton, they knew the jacket. And through social media and through Instagram, people realized who I was, and that's how I've been able to gain so much kind of like exposure, and I'd be able to live so many more of my dreams of discovering all the things I love to do, and I'm counting every day, every blessing that I'm getting right now because of that. And in a way, somewhat, I think I'm having the blessing from Kobe from up there, just telling me, he helped me out to get back to do what I'm doing.
Listen, that's Virgo love.
That's
Yeah.
big.
Kobe a Virgo like me, so I'm always, shout out to the Mamba.
And my mom is August 24 as well. So.
Yeah, and I'm a day after her. Kobe's the 23rd, your mother's the 24th, I'm the 25th.
Yeah.
Nice.
To me,
A
nice.
lot of my friends are the 25th, and funny
Yeah.
enough, I have a lot of friends of mine 25th.
So I want to talk about your paintings. We know a lot about fashion and things of that nature, your jackets. We already spoke about guests and all that. Where are your paintings at?
I just did it more from my passion originally. I never looked at it as a business part of it. And I always painted when I was a kid and stuff like that. But really, if I regress to what I said that early on at the beginning of the interview, that people start telling me, we love your pieces. So I kind of felt like I kind of like being an artist more than a designer. I kind of, I think it fits more what I feel about me. I mean, I don't, not about bragging. And I say, I can translate whatever work I do in jackets and make it in leather. You know, fast forward, I created those art pieces, and instead of doing the back of a jacket, I made it into a canvas, which was, I have canvas that are 8 foot tall, you know, 5 foot wide, and I started creating that like that. And I mostly did it for fun. I didn't do it as a business. And, you know, ultimately I've had collectors that came to me and start buying my art pieces. I opened an art gallery, we start selling it. We have one art pieces right now, a Michael Jordan piece, which is actually the first art piece I ever made in 1999. That's being sold right now at Urban Necessities in the store in Las Vegas. And actually Michael saw it and he signed it for $225,000. So it's kind of like a different ways of doing things, but I love that space. When I retired, I really put a lot of effort into the art. So I really own an art show. I really started getting involved a lot in the arts, though my passion is still the jacket is a much better way to express myself than just a piece of art. As much as I love the art and I love doing art pieces, I think my language is better translated into a jacket. My passion.
Got you. So now, 4 decades later, from the man that was born in Morocco, moved to France, had an ambition, had a thought, said to himself, "Yeah, you know what? This is too claustrophobic for me here in France. This is not what I do. This is not where my future is at." Came to America. Did you accomplish everything that you wanted to accomplish? And did you think that this is what it was going to be when you moved to America? Was this what you envisioned, pretty much?
Certainly not what I envisioned. It's way far. It's a two answer. I have two answers to your question. I achieved much more than I ever expected, and I feel I haven't achieved nothing at all yet. You know, I'm so hungry for life. I'm so hungry for the world. I want to take on the world in not. My ambition is still stronger now than it's ever been. You know, I went through a rough time during 2010, 2019, really financial difficult times and personal difficult times, family difficult times, and I'm so passionate today about the things that I have that I want to eat the world. Not that I want to just step over anybody. I want to just do my own way, but like I said, I don't feel like I scratched the surface of maximizing my potential. I want to do more and more, and then I don't want to run out of time. And I'm not planning to run out of time. I'm planning to live here for many, many more years. In fact, I already made a deal with the NBA. I say that, you know, I got the contract for the 50th anniversary of the NBA, for the 50 greatest players. I had the contract for the 75 greatest players. I just want to make sure that I'm the one who's doing the 100th anniversary of the NBA in 2047. I'll be 91, but I want to be there.
From your mouth to God's ears. And with that, I just want to tell you, Mr. Hamilton, forgive me, I don't mean no disrespect by calling you Mr. Hamilton, but
Call me Jeff. I'm okay with that.
I'm not a young buck, so I respect my elders, and I just want to tell you, I want to hopefully somebody sees this and they get inspired, because honestly speaking, you're a cultural icon. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of people walking out here, and you embraced us. At the end of the day, you said, my brother, whenever he sees you, come here. Because at the end of the day, like I said, you invited to the barbecue and you sitting at the head of the table. We don't even care.
Well, I
You know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
that. I'm very humbled by it, and I'm very blessed to be able to do the things I do, and if somebody thinks I'm contributing, it is this is a reward that no money can buy. That's why I was telling you about that kind of reward, and when I'm getting the respect of and I'm making people happy and I make people inspired. If I can teach kids or I can teach elders, to elders just to do the things that I do and feel like there is some kind of motivation in what I do, for me it's a blessing that I can share my passion. I have so much passion to share that I really want it to be out there just to inspire people and to know that you really can live a quality life and successful life and fulfilling life and being good to people and not being crooked and not taking shortcuts and being appreciative and not being entitled and have a work ethic and just live a good life and you know what, it's so much more rewarding when you have that and you move. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't need to have a private jet. It's okay. I've been there. I don't. It's not that important for me to know that my feet touch the ground at all times, and what you see is what you get. That's my biggest reward.
Listen, I'm rewarded with your presence. Like I said in the beginning of this podcast, this is something that I wanted to happen, and you blessed me. I'm not one of these. I'm not no jump. I'm not Vlad. I don't have the platform that they have, but I'm somebody that definitely respects who you are. I respect your hustle. You understand what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I just thank you for being here with me and giving me your story, because you are definitely an icon and somebody that needs to be given their flowers in every way, shape, or form. Because, like you said,
I really appreciate it, and it's an honor being with you, and wish you always the best of luck. And thank you, Dren, for
always
the opportunity.
I gotta thank you for that 101, boy. Every time I put that on, it was summertime, so I can't put that on now. But every time I move with that jacket,
you're gonna have to look at me.
Listen,
Look at me. It could
I mean,
be
listen,
150 degrees.
yeah, because you're used to that. I'm not used to that. But no, I have to really thank you for that, brother, because that's, like he said, like you're an icon, you're a legend. So when you put, and like you said, like when you were speaking about the power you feel when you wear a jacket, when you put that jacket on me and you gave me that presentation, I felt like Superman, bro.
That's
you know what I'm saying, and you signed it in the bag,
and I feel like that. That's if I'm able to translate the passion that I have, and translate that energy into the product. Believe me, it's only like a conduit. It's like a little antenna that you have. You put your little antenna through my passion, and then I can pass on the antenna to a friend that really sees the passion that I have creating that idea and create that one of one. It's just and it's very special for me, and I'm very proud of being able to have that gift, that I'm able to translate that into a product that give that energy.
Yeah, and every time I wear that jacket and I take it off, like it's real hard for me to. I'm like, yo, watch that, because everybody's eyes is on it. They want it. You know what I'm saying? So, I really appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
We'll have to put a GPS in it, like an air tag.
Like an air tag. Yup.
I'm gonna put an air tag and sew it inside of it.
That's a fact.
Listen, before we leave, I gotta give my brother his flowers also. We come from a hard struggle, and there's a lot of people that do a whole lot of lip service. You understand what I'm saying? There's people that say they're gonna do things, and that's all it is lip service. So at the end of the day, my brother Dren Starr, you made this possible. This is sponsored by you.
Absolutely.
This might be a Coastal Chronicle interview, but this is sponsored by you. And I'm going to always hold your flag up. You feel me?
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you. We here, Podcast Central, Coastal Chronicles. Until the next one.
Peace.
Thank you. Peace.